Okay, the next movie on our list is Wicked. This is a film I don't know really very much about before I saw it, other than I knew it was a musical, and it was based on the Wizard of Oz stuff, so it kind of serves as some sort of prequel to it. Didn't really know what to expect other than that. You'd seen it before, so really, again, I should hand over to you and let you take us through this one, because you've seen the actual live show, right?
I have, yes. So,
does it measure up?
Does it measure up? So, Wicked. This is the film is the first part of the adaptation of a musical by Stephen Schwartz, which itself is an adaptation of a book by Gregory Maguire. The books are like a reimagining of the Land of Oz, and so it takes what were the original, very child-friendly books. And these are far more adults. They deal with political themes, violence, all kinds of, racism, things like this. It gets very in-depth. And so the musical is an adaptation of that. And here we are, the film. I say it's the first part. It's split in two. This ends right at the kind of interval stage of the stage play. Now, one of my favourite movies ever is The Wizard of Oz. I love The Wizard of Oz. I love the world. Yeah, I love the world of Oz. I like the concept of it, and the visuals behind it. I've seen Wicked in the West End, and I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. I thought it was great production. It was wonderful. I've watched many recordings and stuff since. I think it's a very powerful story. It's about power. It's about corruption. It's about a misfit. It's about how evil can be created from society around them and the pressures and stuff like this. There's a lot of powerful allegory stuff going on. And so I've been waiting for this maiden film for a long time. I was delighted when it was, and I've been waiting to go and see it. And I went to see it with my sister, who's also a big fan. Ultimately, I found it brilliant and really enjoyed it. Now, I will note, I know that some people would find this film a very Marmite film. It's going to depend on you enjoying musicals, and particularly kind of West End style musicals. There's certain things that it either works for you or it doesn't. I don't think it ever sits in the middle too much. I think they did a really great job here of expanding the scale, mainly because you're on film, you can do a lot more, you've got a lot more budget. Expanding the scale, the world looked and felt much bigger. Obviously, lots more extras and CGI you can put into it, the whole world encompassing. So that was very nice. And also they did a lot of nods to the Wizard of Oz film in this, with like the font they used for the titles was the same as the Wizard of Oz. We saw a little glimpse of Dorothy and the Tin Man and Scarecrow line at the beginning, walking down Albert Road. So that was all very nice. I thought the performances were really great. Elphaba and Ariana Grande as Grande, Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba. They were amazing. Their voices were incredible. But others in there were great as well. Peter Dinklage who makes an appearance. Michelle Yeoh plays the teacher in the school who was brilliant. Jonathan Bailey. But Jeff Goldblum as the wizard, I thought it was the role he was born to play. Deliciously evil, amazing delivery. We all know Jeff Goldblum. We know what he's like, and it kind of fits perfectly into that little role. And, his delivery of the line, the best way to bring folks together is to give them a real good enemy. It's like, sums up the film and he really nails it. And it's very appropriate in this day and age, that kind of line. And of course, it ends with Defying Gravity as kind of the end number before we get to part 2, and it's an amazing set piece to finish off. However, I'm really looking forward to part 2 more than anything, because that's my favourite part of the play. It's darker. It's got my favourite song in it. It gets even more interesting. So it's a bit like Dune, really, where it's like, it's hard to judge it in it as a whole until we get to the meat and bones. Okay. What did you think, as someone who hasn't seen the play?
Oh, God, for me, it was a real struggle to get through. It was so long. And
it is long.
I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was having to stop myself, pick up my phone, and concentrate on it, stay with it. I mean, I'm familiar with The Wizard of Oz. I like the original Wizard of Oz. I grew up watching it. It was one of the very earliest films I remember watching, Loved the story of it. Loved Return to Oz. Remember that with Fairuza Balk in the 80s and that was brilliant.
That's creeped the hell out of me as a kid.
Yeah, the Wheelers had that effect on a lot of people. But this was kind of like, okay, I getting the vibes here that we're going back to the backstory of the Wicked Witch of the West and how she became the Wicked Witch of the West, in a sense. So it's another backstory. It's another sort of rewriting of it. And you've just explained it to me. All of that stuff you've just said, I didn't know it was a book. I knew it was a musical. I didn't know it came from something else. I think I agree with you. It's got a lot to say in the subtext. Absolutely. All of that stuff about corruption and about segregation and, the way that other people are viewed for whether it be a disability or the colour of your skin and all that stuff is obviously in there. But it's done in this very sort of candy pop, almost Harry Potter world where they're all in this like university for learning how to be magical and stuff. You said you got Peter Dinklage as the goat teaching them how to do this, that and the other, and Michelle Yeoh as the kind of, dean of the university. She was very good, actually. To see Michelle Yeoh and Peter Dinklage singing, this is a treat in itself. But I think for me, the visual style was so in your face. Absolutely, you can't fault it. There was no ropiness to it. It was top level CGI and extras, costumes, set designs. Mise-en-scene was absolutely, all there. It was a full package, but for me, it was a bit so much. I was just like, oh my God, there's too much to look at in some ways. And the worst problem I had with it is the music. For me, the music is so American, so mawkish. Everything's got that sort of, really, I don't know, it's like it's all in a major key. It's all kind of, it was, I couldn't get with it. It was starting to grate on me a bit towards the end. And there's so much of it. There's like a little bit of dialogue. Now we're into the next song. A little bit of dialogue. Now the next song. So, I didn't turn it off. I can say that. I stuck with it, but I'm glad I didn't get exposed to it in the cinema, for nearly 3 hours of, it would have been a bit too much for me, a bit too much overload. So, yeah, what else can I say? It was... And
I totally get it as well. I mean, there is like, if you don't like that kind of, you say kind of like major key, theatrical music, it's just not, it's hard, just some people don't like that, and it's like...
Yeah.
There's not, you can't get around it.
They were great. Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo. Absolutely brilliant. Great singing. Great performances. But, I was sitting there watching it on my own thinking, I'd probably be enjoying this more if there was a couple of kids, my sister's kids with me or something like that, where they're getting a lot from it. And you enjoy it more vicariously through them. And you think, but just sitting on my own as a middle-aged man watching it was a bit like, kill me now, God, kill me now. But there we go, like you said, swings and roundabouts. I can appreciate it for what it was. Very, very, very top-class production, but, oh, God, I don't look forward to part 2 as much as you do.
Yeah, it's, as I say, that's why I think it is very Marmite. I think it is one of them. It's like, some people are going to like this, and then some people are just not going to get it.
People like yourself who've enjoyed it on the stage, and no doubt they should enjoy it. There's nothing to fault in it in that sense. It's just whether you enjoy that sort of thing or not. I think if you do, it's a top-class version. Like I said, Jeff Goldblum turned up. That was a surprise for me. I didn't know he was in it. So when he's revealed he's the wizard, I was like, hey, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, it's Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. But, oh, God, yeah. All right, fair enough. Thanks very much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. The best way to support this channel is by dropping us a like and subscribing. Other ways to support us include Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon. This video was sponsored by funkyt-shirts.co.uk. Check out their website for a full range of awesome t-shirt designs. You can find all the links in the description.